Hey, and welcome back to Underdog Investing. Today I'd like to talk about Virgin Galactic. Firstly, going through 3 reasons why I think the stock price has gone down over the past month or so. And then I'd like to talk a bit about Spaceport Cornwall and why I think Virgin Galactic is likely to fly customers regularly to space via Spaceport Cornwall in the future. And then finally I'd like to talk about what I'm planning to do with the actual stock. Before I jump into the video, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who supported this channel to reach 300 subscribers. And I'll be very grateful if you can smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for future updates. So let's jump straight into it. Starting with the stock price. We closed on Friday the 5th of March at $27.29. That's 10% down in the day. But if we have a look at the 6-month chart, you can see that we've actually gone down about 54% from an all-time high of about $60 all the way down to $27.29. That's a massive pullback. If we have a look at the 1-day chart, you can see we actually reached a low of about $24.20 before rallying back about 17% to finish after hours at around $28. So the first reason I wanted to talk about was the actual whole tech sell-off. So I think this is one of the reasons why we saw a massive pullback in Virgin Galactic. So let's have a look at the Tesla share price. We had a pullback since the 8th of January of about 32% in Tesla. If we have a look at Lemonade, we had a pullback since the 11th of January from about $183 all the way down to $92. And that's a 50% pullback for Lemonade. So seeing a 54% pullback in Virgin Galactic is not unusual if we look at the whole tech sector in general. Okay, so that's the first reason. Moving on to the second reason why I think we saw a massive pullback. So Virgin Galactic delays next spaceflight test to May. So a lot of you might be aware, but basically we've got 3 test flights before Virgin Galactic become operational. The first one actually happened in December, but it was unsuccessful. So we actually had to identify the issue, which we did, and it was basically electromagnetic interference, which caused an issue with the ignition of the rocket motor. And we actually delayed that test flight till the 13th of February. And what happened was, just before the actual test flight on the 13th of February, we had some issues with the technical checks and we had to actually delay the flight further. So recently in their Q4 2020 earnings call, they actually announced that we are planning to see the test flight, and this is the first test flight in May of 2021. So a lot of investors were surprised to see that it had to be delayed so far. We haven't really got very specific answers as to why we're seeing such a delay, but obviously it's not something that investors want to see. Personally, I don't think it's a massive issue. The reason is because this company has been around for about 15 years. So if you consider the fact that we've got about 2 months, because we're in March now, so March, April, and then it's going to be May. We've actually got 2 months before we have the test flight, which is potentially going to be successful. And if it is successful, then this could potentially help us fulfill the final 2 FAA requirements to become operational. Now, if we become operational, so what we're saying is we've been around for 15 years and in the next 2 months we are going to hit that milestone of becoming operational, and that's pretty much all we've been aiming for so far in the last 15 years. So I think that personally I don't see 2-month delay as a massive issue. Anyway, so that's the second reason. And the most recent reason why we've seen a decline in the stock price was because investor Chamath Palihapitiya cashes out on personal Virgin Galactic stake. Now, I'm going to show you this article and then I'm going to show you why I don't think it's as bad as people make it sound. So, venture investor Chamath Palihapitiya this week sold his remaining personal stake in Virgin Galactic Holdings, a space tourism company he helped take public in 2019 for around $230 million, regulatory filings showed. Palliapatia sold 6.2 million shares, leaving him with about 15.8 million shares in Virgin Galactic, where he remains chairman. The remaining 6.6% stake in the company is through an investment firm that is in partnership with British investor Ian Osborne. So the first thing to note is that Chamath Palihapitiya remains the chairman of Virgin Galactic. So that just demonstrates that he's still got a lot of involvement and responsibility in this company. The second thing to note is that he's still got a significant amount of shares in the company. So they make it out like he's sold all shares, but he's actually sold all of his personal shares. But he's actually still got 15.8 million shares in Virgin Galactic. And as they say, the 6.6% stake is in the company is through an investment firm. Let's have a look at what Chamath himself has to say. So Palihapitiya said he would redirect the funds from the share sale toward a large investment focused on the fight against climate change. The details of this investment will be made public in the next few months. I continue to be a significant investor in Virgin Galactic through social capital Hedosphere Holdings, and I remain as dedicated as ever to Virgin Galactic's team, mission and prospects, Palihapitiya said in the statement. So as you can see, he remains a significant investor in Virgin Galactic. He remains in a very high level responsibility position, which is as a chairman, and he also still has a massive stake in the company of 6.6%. So this just shows that for someone who's actually has so much responsibilities in terms of other companies that he's investing in, he's actually dedicating a lot of capital as well as time as well as responsibility into Virgin Galactic. So I think the headlines make it sound worse than it really is. They make it sound like he's sold all of his stake and he's given up on the company, but this just demonstrates how he's still very much bullish on the company despite having so many other responsibilities. So those are the three reasons why I think the stock price has gone down. Now let's talk a bit about the Cornwall spaceport. So Brexit Britain must lead space industrial revolution to preserve humanity, claims expert. Okay, so Will Whitehorn, who was the chief executive of UK Space and former president of Virgin Galactic, this is what he had to say about Virgin Galactic and Spaceport Cornwall. So the infrastructure in Spaceport Cornwall could even be used to send humans into space on suborbital missions by companies like Virgin Galactic, and I'm happy to volunteer to go. The government is aiming for the UK to control 10% of the global space economy by 2030. Virgin Galactic is hoping to begin horizontal launches out of Spaceport Cornwall based on new key as soon as next year. So if we have a look at the Spaceport Cornwall website, so home to the UK launch. The UK's horizontal launch solution from 2021. So horizontal launch basically means that they use actual runway to go to space, and it's obviously the opposite would be vertical launch, which companies like Blue Origin as well as SpaceX use. But okay, so the reason why I'm so bullish on the fact that Virgin Galactic are likely to use Spaceport Cornwall as a spaceport for their future tourism flights is because Virgin Orbit is already a partner of Spaceport Cornwall. And the reason why that's so good bullish is because if you think about Virgin Galactic and Virgin Orbit, they're both very similar in the way they actually take rockets into space. They both use motherships to bring rockets into space, and Virgin Galactic also use runway, so they also require horizontal launch solution. So and also if we remember from their Q4 of 2020 report, they want to fly about, I think, 400 flights per spaceport. So if they're gonna have so many flights each year. They're going to need as many locations as possible, and Spaceport Cornwall is one of the places where I think it's a hotspot destination for space tourism. I'm sure there's plenty of UK customers who are willing to fly to suborbit via Virgin Galactic, so that's why I'm very bullish on this. So I just want to talk about the stock price. So I've actually got shares in Virgin Galactic, and so I purchased when it was around $17. So with my average, I'm still up about let's have a look. So $17. So still up about 58%. There was a stage where I was up about 230%, and I didn't end up selling. And obviously, in hindsight, it might have been sensible to sell some of my position. But the reason why I didn't, and the reason why I don't regret not selling the shares, is because I've got a long-term vision for this company, and I remain bullish on that long-term vision, which is the fact that we are going to become operational, and we are likely to fly plenty of customers to space. And that's actually the short-term vision. In terms of the longer-term vision, I'm looking at hypersonic travel and the amount of money hypersonic travel industry can generate for Virgin Galactic. So I'm very bullish on that. So regardless of what happens in the short term, I try to ignore these fluctuations. So when it goes up, it's obviously a good thing, but I know that it could potentially go down as well, which it actually did. But I'm not here to try to time the market. I'm actually looking at the long term, and I think that long term is going to be significantly higher than these levels. In fact, I think it's going to be significantly higher than the levels we saw on 11th of February, if they are able to execute on these things. And like I said, I think they're at the cusp of actually becoming operational. So I'm definitely, although it was clearly would have been a good thing to sell on the 11th of February, I wasn't brave enough to try to time that, especially with the fact that they're so close to becoming operational. Let me know if anyone actually did sell during these levels, and whether you bought back at the lows of around $27. Yeah, so that's the end of the video. I'll be very grateful if you can smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for future updates. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.